Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Ikhwan bin Anwar. So today I would like to talk about experiment of crank and slider mechanism. Measure the length of the rod crank and connecting rod between the center of the two holes. Connect the crank and connecting rod together. Make sure it can move correctly. Set the crank to 0 degree. Record the initial position of the connecting rod using the ruler provided. Slowly rotate the crank and record the position at the slider and every 30-degree increment. And take the reading up to 360-degree rotation. Okay, I will explain a little bit about the discussion. How a crank and slider system work. This mechanism is composed of three important parts. The crank, which is the rotating disc, the slider, which slides inside the tube, and the connecting rod, which join the parts together. As the slider moves to the right, the connecting rod pushes the wheel round for the first 180 degree of wheel rotation. When the slider begins to move back into the tube, the connecting rod pulls the wheel round to complete the rotation. That's how the crank and slider work. Next, compare and discuss the result from the theoretical and experimental table. The bigger the radius of the crank, the bigger the piston movement. This is because when we apply a big angle of crank, the piston movement will affect and will become higher. Furthermore, the theoretical and experiment is not same. During the experiment, there are errors that will affect the result in this experiment. That's why the result during the experiment not same with the theory. Third one, give your comment or suggest at least 4 causes of error that may affect in this experiment. First is parallax. Next, instrument resolution. The third one, failure to calibrate. And the last one is theoretical error. Number 4, the application of crank and slider in mechanism, in automobile engine and sewing machine. So for the conclusion, as a conclusion, the objective of this experiment were to study about the planar kinematics, motion, and to study the effect of changing the crank radius and connecting rod length. By doing this experiment of slider and crank mechanism, the characteristic of the mechanism is learned. In conclusion, the bigger the radius and the length, the bigger the distance go. That's all for me. Thank you for watching.